I'm gonna talk about SLP and the scholarship system. Let me just throw it out that this is not financial advice. Do your own research. So SLP is a utility token, okay? It's used to do something in the game. It is not meant to be an investment that will make you tons and tons of money overnight, for the majority of us at least. Now, of course, you can make money from it, okay? If you make the right decisions in the game. If you time the market well, then sure, you can make money from it. But anyway, for the past few months, the community has been complaining a lot about the low SLP prices. And there has been a lot of complaints about the developers for not doing something about SLP prices, right? Just look at these tweets. But please hear me out. What I really want people to do is to change their idea about SLP and really internalize the fact that SLP is a utility token. What is a utility token? Let's look at some examples, all right? Now, there will be other utility tokens in the future, such as wood, stone, gem, or banana, or whatever it may be. So let's say you want to get wood, maybe in the morning, right? So what do? Well, by chopping down trees, of course. And then you use the wood to, let's say, build furniture, okay? That's what a utility token is. All right, so back to those tweets. Now, what if I replace the word SLP with wood? Can you imagine the community complaining about wood prices all the time and then blaming the developers for not pushing up wood prices? So think about that. You see, we have to think of SLP the same way that we think of wood or stone or gem or banana. Otherwise, you may end up losing a lot of money. Okay, now that I have hopefully made my point clear about SLP, I understand that a lot of you may be invested in SLP, and so do I. I bought a bunch of them near the bottom sometime in January, and I want the prices to go up too, just like you guys. But you see, I only bought in when it has been beaten down a lot by the market, and rightly so, because for the past 9 months, the supply has been way higher than demand. And I bought in also because V3 is coming, right? So I think there's gonna be a lot of demand for SLP in the next few months. You know, when I first joined Axie, SLP price was around 17 to 18 cents. I expected it to fall to about 3 or 4 cents. Why? Well, no matter how bullish an asset may seem, I always assume that at some point it is going to fall like 70 or 80 or 90%. Okay, this is not just unique to crypto, but also to other types of assets, such as stocks. Whereas this is what I meant by trying to time the market, trying to make good decisions in the game. Hopefully, this is a good decision on my part, and we'll see in the next few months. Okay, the scholarship system. Now, in my opinion, the scholarship system in its current form may not be so profitable forever. During the fast growth phase of Axie, the demand for Axies from new players is more than the supply of Axies in the marketplace, which pushes Axie prices up. It makes more sense to rent your Axies than to buy them from the marketplace. But in the future, when the economy matures, this kind of fast growth will not happen. Axie prices will then drop back down to more sustainable levels, okay? And there'll be less need for the scholarship system then, and there'll be less profit as well for managers. But in any economy, less profits doesn't mean that the activity disappears. I think that scholarship will still be around, but it will just become a very small part of Axie Infinity. When the economy gets mature, there'll be a lot of other things to do, right? Apart from just being a manager. My strategy for the scholarship program is to expand during a recession. For example, in the past 3 or 4 months, I have been expanding my scholarship program. I think that recession is the best time to expand because Axie prices are low. And if you are breeding, you can give your Axies to your new scholars. You will not lose much by not selling them in the marketplace, okay? So the opportunity cost will be low. However, during the booms, I would rather breed and sell. So just to give you an idea, about 6 to 9 months back during the booms, even those Axies that I bred, that I consider to be failures, still give me a 40% profit margin on average when I sell them on the marketplace. So imagine how the program has been pretty down for the past few months, but I still managed to get quite a fair number of new scholars. through referrals from my existing scholars. And for all my scholars, I manage their expectations from the start. Okay, I tell them to treat this as a side income. You should still find a proper job, but you can treat Axie as a side income. If you are a student or a housewife or unemployed, playing Axie can give you some money. So most of my scholars understand this, and they stayed with me throughout the recession. And I'm grateful for that, and I hope to reward them in the coming months. So back to the referrals. Through referrals, I have been expanding my program, and it has been relatively cheap compared to 6 or 9 months ago. We are talking about Axie prices in the marketplace that got cut by 70 to 90%. And here's another important point. Even if the scholarship system shrinks or is gone, it doesn't mean that Axie Infinity dies as a game. My fundamentals for investing in Axie is not about, being a manager. My investment in Axie is a bet that it will become a fun game that rivals traditional games because you want to attract real players. Sustainable money comes from real players in the long run. So the game has to be fun, and I've been trying to convince people about this. More people are coming to terms with it and realizing that play to earn is unsustainable. You can't just have a model where everyone comes in to earn, okay, to extract value from the system. Where does the money come from? It has to come from real players, not from new investors, okay? I hear a lot of people say, pump up the SLP prices so that you can attract new investors. Isn't that a Ponzi scheme? Okay, Ponzi, whatever. If you don't participate in Ponzi schemes in the real world, why do it in blockchain games? So back to the point, the scholarship system is not fundamental to any game, okay? Not any blockchain game or non-blockchain game. I mean, think about it. Do people like Mark Cuban or other big investors invest in Axie?